things off while I have a little bite of my dinner.
Okay.
Please,
No
sir.
problem. All good, all good, all
Thank you.
good. Ignore that PM that I just sent you then, in that case.
Mm.
What do you got for dinner, mate, quickly, before we start?
Eggplant and, I don't know, cheesy. Fuck, Mum made it. It's very nice of her.
Moussaka? Moussaka?
Yeah, we'll switch around the responsibilities.
Okay.
Away.
Alright, so here we go. Both bombs defused, and as we come to expect, both teams... don't know how this has really started. The offenders not going across the other side of the map. They tend to try and take away the boost that the other team's offenders might be able to use to come into base. And in the last couple of seasons, we've started to see that, but doesn't really matter. And at the moment, it hasn't worked out too well for either team. Nothing really happened, and Acti ended up killing himself on the gate. So not a whole lot in these first 20 seconds. And I think obviously a little bit of nerves as well for the most part. Acti will probably or should hang around until this bomb gets defused, and he will. Bobe doing his best Acti impression on that side, running into the spike off the bomb, and now we're just going to sit around for pups. I mean, why start the game at 10 minutes? Why not just start the game at 9 minutes?
What happened to pups spawning straight away?
Mate, you're telling me.
There definitely has been a lot more emphasis in recent seasons with getting rollouts that are more team oriented. You see teams lining up to try and grab with momentum, and they'll spend minutes lining that up if it means they're going to get a shore out, which is a really smart way to play things, especially on these super fast maps where you need to be in good positions. You can't just rely on your timing all the time.
And Bills are, it's all down to Vex, who ends up dying on the gate. So a nice little lead there from Balakwa. Rosu, very patient on that, coming through that tunnel. Balakwa was able to get one tag, I think a second maybe on the gate, I couldn't quite see. Dilza couldn't quite hit that boost off the 45 and just crumbled from there, but very controlled play early on from AntiMatters. Gets their first cap with that Tag Pro win. And interestingly as well, they sent 3 over to that pup, whereas Noogas in Paris only sent 2. So the priority on the Tag Pro there. Bobe gets juked out by Rosu. Oh, Vex saves the day, but what a move from Rosu and Nooga. Nearly sneaks out for a counter cap, but both teams reset. Should be 2 pups here. And indeed it does. Both to AntiMatters, but both juke juices.
God, Rosu. Showing why he probably deserves to be here with, even players as strong as Bobe and this NIP outfit. Able to have the moves put on them by Rosu. Goes for a grab there, not quite going to work out as Buttercup does get returned. And it's back to the relative safety of 3 in base for AntiMatters as Vex tries to line up this boost. Will keep himself alive. And now Bobby and Vex in base as Acti and Rosu sit on boost, trying to find an opportunity in here.
Yeah, I don't, just touching on that Rosu point, I don't think the mechanical skill of Rosu was ever what was major doubt, as Acti and Rosu combine quite well. Rosu should get an out here. Vex the same on the other side though. What I really want to see from Rosu tonight is his intelligence. Does he have the IQ to be able to play at the top level consistently in a pressure situation? He's got the mechanics for it, he's got the moves, but is he going to make the right decision at the right time under those pressures? Acti wins an RB, very importantly. Rosu now option to kiss would be wonderful, or at least die for as good as he is at holding the flag. He's not as good as activation with a rolling bomb. If they can shut down Vex here, Acti should make the rush in. And now Acti, very patient there.
So smart, Acti. 2-0 lead for AntiMatters. Yeah, on the topic of Rosu again, he's become really much more clever in the way he holds the flag. It's probably a couple seasons of activation under his belt, playing with him as a teammate that has impacted that. But, it was his play there, being able to get both of the defenders so far away from Acti, who had that rolling bomb on Ree, as he just ran onto tile, got returned. Okay, no worries. There's my teammate with an RB coming in. Good luck. And you can see how it worked out. ANIP just crumbled.
Yeah, they did. And it was interesting. I didn't quite think that they had the return on Vex. Vex obviously was in the house down the bottom, but the contain from Buttercup and Balakwa wasn't quite there. But in the end, I think they were able to get there. I think Vex maybe should have just gone to base, the cardinal sin. Should have just gone to base with the flag. He might have been a bit safer there. But
how dare you?
The pressure is still mounting here. Buttercup. We're all taking turns at the moment. Uses their RB a little prematurely. Got the tag by Bobe, and that'll mean a reset. Rosu with that juke juice looking a little scary on defense, so there's no regrab, no attempt to regrab. Bit of patience here from Noogas in Paris, and I was talking to one of their players a couple of weeks ago regarding this sort of stuff, where when they fell behind, they seemed to just panic, and things got a lot worse for them very quickly. So them making the right decisions, finding a way to bounce back, and not overcommitting to the wrong way is going to be very important for them, especially at the moment. The pup control from AntiMatters has been stellar, and that's put Noogas and Paris on the back foot, but they're no slouches in their own right. How can they turn it around here to set themselves up well for the future? And it's not starting well as I talk through all this.
It begins with pub control. I mean, what's the score on pubs so far? We have only three pubs have been won by NIP thus far, and the usage, speaks for itself. The leads and the RB usage have been terrific from AM thus far.
Yeah, and I think two of those were RBs that were two of the pups for Noogas and Paris, that is, were RBs that were diffused pretty quickly. So not a whole lot happening for them.
Can't be diffused instantly anymore, except for rare situations.
No, that's of course. So it's more of a problem than it used to be in me making that statement, because it means that they're not able to put them to good use at all. But yeah, look at this. I mean, the slow play from Acti, we've gone 5 minutes now, 6 minutes rather, through the game, and they've had 11 grabs total, Rosu and Acti. Just very, very patient play on a map like Emerald, which we can think of is pretty fast-paced, quite quick.
Something to note is maybe with that 3 defense impacting things, that Vex and Bobby have only had 6 between them. It's the 7th for Bob there. As he gets past 3, in saying that, activation, no anti being played on him. He's going to have an easy grab with this Duke Juice in base. Happy to just hold, force the defenders to commit, and now he's past 3 himself. So Bobby not really with an opportunity here. May look to kiss. Yep, he does so.
That's a clever kiss. That is a clever kiss, because they have one spawning already. Dilzer was spawning in base, which means he can set up the blocks, and there was no one on regrab. They must have had some sort of call. Vex was on regrab after getting a kill himself, which is very good. But unfortunately, the OD was quick there and just rushing that a little bit. Now, Shoes on the other foot. Nooga is in a must-hold situation and chooses wisely. Hopefully, a bit of communication with the team there informed him of the right path, and he's got the moves too, does Nooga?
Of course he does. I don't really like how they set up for that, a risky boost by Vex, but I don't really like how they set up that previous Vex grab. Nooga just running straight onto regrab when he's probably the player you most want to be blocking or on a boost ready to make a play when you're coming into base. So him not being there is a big impact. It means their opportunities are going to be lessened. Oh, Vex manages to stay alive with that Duke Juice, corralling the tag pro very effectively. Not really sure what Bobby was thinking there. Stills are on flag, trying to hold as long as he possibly can. They get in position.
Oh, Vex. Oh, Vex. Oh, Vex. It's all up to Acti now. What can he do? Vex, don't take the boost, mate. Well done. The bomb for Acti. Going to keep him alive. Dilzer, it's all on you, mate. Big player. Not a big player.
Is that a Prem Ball play?
We're not in the Prem Ball. Dilzer is absolved of all blame until the Prem Ball. Nooga hitting that boost just. I think there was quaking in his boots there as he said hello to the spike on the way past.
Sorry, I'll rephrase. Was that a Ball of Fame play from Dilzer
there? If you go back and read the Ball of Fame post, there was no one yet advocating for Dilzer. It was one unknown Guess Who game, which was quite fun. But other than that, no one was advocating.
Oh, no mention of Dilzer. My mistake.
Has quite the protection here. Balakwa, Nooga do well to get a tag himself, and now it's on Dilzer and Vex yet again. Dilzer, the first juke is easy. What can Vex do? Dilzer's bought him a bit of time, but yeah, shutting down 2 TPs.
Yeah, Acti's just cleaning house in the base there that whole time that Dilzer and Vex were trying to make big plays. AM find their third, 3-0 in this first half of Emerald.
And looking good for it, really. No reason to suggest otherwise. It's a very fair scoreline so far. If anything,
definitely.
Maybe 1 or 2 more. Rosu and Acti combining well here, but the shutdown from Nooga and Dilzer, good enough. But yeah, as you said, Vex and Bobe really struggling to grab here. Haven't had a whole lot.
Right? They've how many have they got now? Still 4 and 7.
Ooh.
So 11 total. I'm happy to be picking and choosing. Oh, Bob nearly gets out there with a sick block from Vex. I'm happy to be picking and choosing grab opportunities. No, Dilzer
no way.
Vex.
No way.
Oh, a tag pro lead.
Oh, and the lead is not good here either. And obviously the lead runs out now as well. Vex might be able to go around the back of the base and will get one back. Good job. See if they can get a second here.
Would mean a lot. That was a great boost by Vex around the back of the base. Probably had to do it in exactly the time he took.
Okay, so
Okay.
they are setting up. I was going to say, Dilza either needs to rush it or Vex needs to come back. Balakwa has put himself out of position temporarily. What can they do off this? Very little. And now they're going to have to worry about it. 7 seconds going the other way here. And the block
No
from
problems.
Rosu.
Nice
Gives him a
try,
little space
Rosu.
in base, but yeah,
Did
nothing
all he
doing.
could.
Nearly.
That was
3 more
closer than it
seconds.
looked. He just grazed past the button. So, you know, it would only be one to beat. You never know. Regardless,
Nah.
it's a pretty solid lead thus far for AM. Must be said.
And hopefully the stats are on screen. Just like to draw your eyes to the prevent numbers. We were talking about the grab numbers earlier. Prevent numbers for the defense. Buttercup and Balakwa nearing on 4 minutes, both of them. Meanwhile, Nooga 210 and Dilza 144. Now, a lot of this comes down to the pup control. Again, the pup control from AntiMatters was far, far superior to NIP. But at the end of the day, even it looked like the combination play between Vex and Bobe wasn't really getting them out, whereas we saw a few times, even without pups rather, Acti and Rosu were able to get a grab, run into a corner, you know, an ideal sacrifice for the regrab and get out for it, or at least get some sort of hold and get some pressure. So offense, Vex and Bobe not really clicking yet. Acti and Rosu looking on fire.
I think they just have to be thinking about more the map as a whole. It's they have not really been impacting pups as much as maybe they should have, considering how little they were able to grab. If you're being prevented that much, you just have to get in position to get back and make plays where you're not necessarily grabbing the flag.
Seen.
Okay, just running a test launch there, Rosu as requested. Score is 4-1 at the moment. I'll fill that in. Thanks, Doppy.
Very good. Can we get some listen-ins? Yeah, we can get some listen-ins.
Of course. Just warming into things. Go easy on me.
We might go for a listen-in sometime during this next half when we get around to it.
Curious to see if NIP can make the adjustments and get a bit more map control going. Match the energy that Rosu and Acti are putting out.
Yeah, I think it definitely needs to start with the pup control. For as much as we have all these other things that are going on, the pup control has been rather abysmal. So they need to set up early. And initially they were setting up, they were just getting beat 1 for 1, man for man. But towards the end of it, like about halfway through that first half, 4 or 5 minutes in, there were times there where they weren't even contesting some of the pups. I remember seeing one in particular where Dilza was sort of boosting around in his own base, clearing a bomb, clearing a boost, sitting on a gate, and a pup spawned, 15 tiles away from him. So that sort of stuff really needs to clean up for NIP. Otherwise, they'll be looking at a quick exit here tonight.
Yeah, it is a bit scary. I mean, how many pups grabs did they have in the end, Vex and Bob? It was like 13 or 14. I mean, that's nearly one a minute. If you're grabbing one time per pup rotation, then something's wrong.
Look, I don't disagree with the lack of grabs. There are many teams that have been able to succeed having far less grabs than the other team. But at the end of the day, those teams also had a lot less pops and a lot more map control. It's not an inherent thing to be poor at grabs, provided you can get out. But the more glaring issue was the fact that Vex and Bobe's grabs never actually got them anywhere. Very rarely did we see them applying pressure unless AntiMatters were very well set up and working on 3-4 OD with nothing going on and no pup control either. Like, it's just, they're lucky to have one. Noogas in Paris, frankly, lucky to have one.
It was a great cap by Vex, to be fair.
It was a lovely cap.
But I should clarify, if you have so few grabs and you've got nothing to show for it, if you're not controlling pups, if you're not forcing defenders to make commitments during pup rounds, then you need to be making more plays. Both teams are ready.
That cap from Vex came off the back of a cap from Acti, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a rebound cap.
Grabbed and capped around pup times, and then Vex got one back. So
they did secure a tag po from that round, but Acti made a really good block against 2 players to allow them to walk that one in.
All right, here we go. So we're getting ready for the second half. It is currently 4-1 AntiMatters' way. Let's see. Let's hope that Noogas in Paris can pull something back and make a bit of a game to it.
They definitely can. They may lose their cool within the half, but they're definitely a team that can reset mentally really easily and get back on top of their game, play how they want to. We see Vex being a little more patient in the way he goes for grabs here. pretty much going to go as expected, though, as Acti and Rosu sit right in base waiting for him.
Yeah,
Little XD thrown out from Rosu there.
you got two bloody soldiers just sitting out the exit of the base waiting for you to do something stupid.
It's so ironic, isn't it? As maps get more offensive, the meta just gets more defensive.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Oh, totally. The way these guys are playing is so sick.
Just got to keep their patience here. The Noogas in Paris. Don't fall into bad habits. That's the start of it. Vex didn't go for that grab, but unfortunately, with that grab, they haven't set themselves up well for pups. It turns out they're going to go split it. Dilza doesn't quite get it. Rosu's strong enough, big enough. Bobe now is going to get closed down, and Dilza, not much use with this boost. Should just use it to get ahead now. So even with the pup going even, they're still on the back foot. Nooga nicely out with that juke juice.
It's definitely better so far. I mean, they secured one pup. They fought strongly. Got a bit unlucky on that other pup. Rosu with the nice 1v2 effort there. Oh, Nooga, sick juke. And yeah, he's going to keep holding the flag. Do another lap. Vex.
No. Oh, no.
Crucial miss, but Nooga's happy to hold in these spikes. No shutdown coming.
When you do that,
and,
you've got to make sure of it.
As those pups came up, Bobby forced a grab and managed to pull a couple players off the power-up. So he got out there. It didn't work out for them in the end, but they looked to have a lot of control. Oh, Vexation. Another pop in base. Just getting a little sloppy here.
Too simple. Basic
Too
mistakes.
obvious.
Dilza blocks Vex out of that pup, but it is 1-1 again. No tag pros as yet through this game. Nooga will do well to help shut down Buttercup, but unfortunately runs straight to the spike. Rosu now, if he's going to get out, it's got to be quick, and he does! Temporarily. Vex
We'll call that an out.
That covered. I guarantee you he did not.
He shat his pants just for a brief
moment. You go and talk to Vex, and I'm sure I'll hear it after this game. Oh, all day. Yeah. Sure.
He's going to feel good about that one until he hears the commentary. If he hears the commentary. May not want to watch this one back if it keeps going at this rate.
That's true. But, yeah, credit to Noogas in Paris. They've gone 3 minutes, yet to concede.
Definitely started better than last game. They have made the adjustments they need. Vexations finds a rub grab in there. Okay, happy to just do a lap as AntiMatters are playing 4OD right now. Balakwa splitting off to chase. Bobby should probably give him a hand here.
How's your patience, Vex? How's your patience? What can we do? He's got use of this bomb. And it's going to get him 1-2 kills. But unfortunately, no re-grab. They were contesting the pup. Balakwa steams in for a grab. Nooga does get the juke juice. If they can get this, they'll have a pup advantage for about 10 seconds. And they do, but Nooga's not taking it. Oh, don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, it's classic Nooga to run all the way back to defense, though, as we know. It's definitely seeing how they're able to impact the pup rounds more this half. If they start peeling off some tag pros and maybe some RBs out of base, then it could be effective. But thus far, they've just found juke juices. And Balakwa did very well to come back and win that one-on-one pup battle, but the other one was completely free. So they are managing to control the map far more effectively than in the first half, especially Bob and Vex, I've noticed.
They've really just got to think about it. So Bobe here is lining up on this boost, and he really should be playing patient. There should be no grabs at this point. And that was an error that they were making earlier. Rosu goes for the grab.
All on Vex now.
On his end. But nice with the block here. And they're ahead of 2. Dilza will get the tag pro. Vex probably...
secures the tag pro, yeah.
Yeah, once you get the tag pro call, Vex probably needs to be a little bit more patient. But the RB on Re is always scary. And
yeah, not the worst play. I mean, they have two very safe players on Re there, and it's Balakwa gets that shutdown, but Dilza does find a return of his own.
2 dead here. Nooga can get across. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about
embarrassing.
So the play there for Nooga is hopefully get across. If they can rush a return of some sort, and then he can get a kiss whilst they get re-grab, then that's a great situation. But wasn't to be, and now Acti could be ahead of 2. Picks
Great
a nice
boost line. Just walk it in, mate. Oh, so smart. I assume it's the comms coming through, but to read the play like that and know that top is open and you can get to top by bouncing off that bottom wall. Oh, so sick. Nooga's missed a boost on Rosu. He could be past 3 and he misses another one. Doesn't manage to juke Vex with that juke juices. They pick up both pups, so very well done to get the shutdown and get power up control as well. Dilza uses his RB to get out. He's past 2 here. Rosu needs to probably be a little careful with this grab. Nooga's going to return him. It gets a return on Acti too.
With a block, with a block. Oh. Yes, son. Well done.
The triple play from Nooga.
We love that.
So sick.
That's what he's good for.
Yeah, that's the Nooga we know. That's the 90 coin Nooga. Captain or don't play Nooga.
Just going back earlier, you were talking about Acti's boost line. It was something I was going to mention a little bit earlier, probably about 3 or 4 minutes ago. There was a line that Bobe took as he was out, and it's just the most basic line. He exited base, he went through top, he's coming through the top red, and Balakwa and Buttercup were both there just waiting for him. Didn't even need to see him, they just knew he was going to come there. And it's these sorts of things that really kill you. You finally get a chance, he gets out, and he's ahead of 1 at least, and then you throw it away with a poor line, lack of creativity, and as we're saying that, Balakwa, oh, you're kidding! You are kidding! In a final, no less, with 2 juke juices, and now there's gonna be a couple of flacids on the other end, and the easy calls are coming out from the boys on AntiMatters. That hurts. That hurts.
It's you're playing like you really have a comeback chance in these few minutes. You know, your team's looking really up and about. You can't do that, especially as your teammates are making such a huge effort for you, getting those returns, getting the shutdowns when it counts. Just switch on, Nooga. We know you can make the plays. We know how good your mechanics are, how consistent you are. But you really need to switch on your brain.
Here we go. They contest the pups. 1 is a tag pro. Doesn't even AntiMatters even know that there's a tag pro down bottom. I don't think that they've seen it.
It's very
Acti
delayed.
now has.
They might be thinking they're able to chain this.
I don't know that they can. I don't think it's as delayed as they're hoping.
They're not even going for it, yeah. Okay.
And now, yeah, there you go. Pup advantage straight up. Acti is going to run straight into the big man Bob, who gets double teamed. Unfortunately, Buttercup was there as well, and Nooga's tag pro's doing a whole lot of.
What are you doing, Nooga? He's just running around the bottom half of the map.
He's going to come in, steam in for a grab. Gone flag pro. He's got about 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 0 seconds left on that tag pro now.
Does manage to get a grab out in his defense, but gets shut down by Balakwa pretty quickly. Dilza probably needed to do a little more to control that boost. And Rosu in a lot of trouble now as Vex finds a split on Bob and Balakwa and Buttercup. But does get shut down and Rosu manages to hold, so Bobby will have a boost line on him. Finds that return. Dilza now past 3. A lot of work for Acti.
Oh, well done, Acti.
Nooga,
and now
so
it's going to go the other way. Bobe, what can he do? He's got the use of the bomb. And play for it. Probably needed to... Yeah, there you go, Vex. Vex telling Bobe what he should have done.
Okay. I'm going to go for a listen in the AntiMatters side, just to finish this half.
He's top tunnel. He's top tunnel.
Yeah.
Kiss is fine. Nice.
I'll kiss
He's
again.
hitting him base.
Yeah.
Chill.
Where?
He's top tunnel. Going top tunnel.
Kissing.
I'm just staying ahead.
Thank you.
Going ahead. He's going mid. Top tunnel. Mid. Nice. Ah, fuck. I couldn't.
Nice. All good. I'll take one.
One's coming bottom, one's top.
Oh, sorry about the pops.
No, you're fine.
1 minute. Let's go.
All good.
Yeah, I got Vex. Oh shit.
I got. It's alright. Just slow down. Yeah. Nice.
Good run.
You're insane, brother. Let's fucking go.
Nice. Last round of pups. So bot was.
Yeah, definitely hearing Balakwa and activation kind of directing the rest of the team there. Rosu, though, to his credit, making sure that his defense has got things under control verbally before he leaves base, which is something you always want to see in your offenders.
Much appreciate that, as a defender myself.
Yeah, definitely. It's Acti and Balakwa directing the comms, controlling traffic, being very encouraging with his fellow players. Vexation is going to find a boost here. If Balakwa gets shut down, it could mean bad things, but I'm going to call a half there. It could go the other way. Oh, Balakwa had the tile.
Yeah, there's the communication or lack thereof, probably from Buttercup, I imagine.
I mean, I don't mind the play from Bell. It was pretty low chance of finding a return in that situation. Just a little misplay from Vex and a good boost. But that is going to be the end of this first map, Emerald. And 6-2 is the score with only 10 seconds remaining. Vex trying to change that with a grab, but it's an easy contain for Butters and Balakwa, and they find that return on Bob. So 6-2 is the final score on this second half of Emerald. Definitely an improved result for Noogas in Paris compared to the first. They were able to stem the tide coming from AntiMatters But yeah, offensive opportunities maybe just needed a little more. 6-2.
Oh, look, pop control was much better. They end up losing that half just 2-1 compared to 4-1 in the first half. But they looked much better for it. And realistically, they were the ones that had more chances, in my opinion. Things didn't go their way. A couple of moments, couple of situations where a little bit of misplay or some great plays on the AntiMatters side allowed them to sort of save a cap at the last second. But much better performance from Noogas in Paris, and hopefully they can take that through. Moving forward, it was Emerald. Emerald would have been AntiMatters pick, I take it. Balakwa loves Emerald.
I'm not sure. I would assume so. Yeah, it
Yeah,
very much suits them.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully Oak is a map that Noogas in Paris feel far more comfortable on, and as we said as well, Transilio should be. If we get there, it's a big if at the moment, but if we do get there, Transilio will be a very even map for both teams. So hoping for a Noogas in Paris to pull this back here on Oak.
I just want to say map 3. I love
So
Transilio.
that's map 3. I know. I'm with you.
Oak, though, to its credit, it's grown on me as a map. I initially really despised it in Season 14 when we first introduced it, but it has grown on me. There is a lot of opportunity for macro play, team-driven play, when I kind of thought it was just boost on flag, get a grab, get out map. But yeah, you can get very clever with the bombs and boost to do laps and hold with.
Boy, can you do laps. Boy, can you do laps.
Shutdowns become a much more interesting challenge at the same time.
Now look, for as good as that second half was from Noogas in Paris, you got to do it for 20 minutes. So AntiMatters by far the best team on that map. We had a question. Very comfortable win. Noogas in Paris looking better, showing improvements, but hopefully they've got that warm up out of their system. Things are on for the second game. We'll see how we go. Definitely need pup control early on. Oak similarly, less so, I'd say, less defensive than Emerald, but certainly need that pup control early on. The lack of chokes, the amount of space that offenders have, really makes it difficult. If you can blast through with some pup control on this map, then it makes things so much easier. So.
Yeah, and I remember from last season, Headshot just brought it up in chat, but Nooga in activation definitely focused a lot on honing their craft on a map like Oak. They demonstrated that it was pretty much a lock-in for Noogas in Paris last season to win that map as Nooga and Acti were playing together. So it's kind of interesting now that they are the teams that are squaring up, and we've got the Nooga versus Acti matchup here. So it'll be interesting to see who has the stronger macro sense, who can control the map better.
I do always enjoy that the battles between teams that would have learnt maps in the same way. Very interesting to see, at least teams that I've been a part of, and moving forward, the players that are on alternating teams or different teams in future seasons, and seeing the little glimpses of things that we might have talked about the previous season, in ways that they end up playing maps. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much of that gets taken, whether they change their tactics, whether they have the same tactics,
whether they double down.
Who's been able to educate their own team on the way that, if a team was so dominating on it as Noogas in Paris were last year, they obviously knew how to play it. Was it Acti that knew how to play it and he was helping the team, or was it Nooga that figured out how to play it and he helped the team? And then how can they educate their current teams to do the same? It's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully for the viewers' sake, it was Nooga that knew how to play the map.
Yeah. Definitely Nooga was absolutely unbearable to play against on this map. That top and bottom boost that's near the flag, I think he hit like 6 boost blocks for caps when we were playing against him. It was so unfortunate.
We saw a couple of missed boosts from Nooga early tonight, so
a little out of practice compared to his former self, but never count that man out.
He hasn't hit the hotkey tonight. I'm sure it's on now.
The rest of his team definitely has been warming up though. Vex and Bob looked much stronger towards that end of that second half, and both teams are ready, which means we are loading in for this potentially final map of Losers Finals. And it's Oak.
Let's not talk about it like that. Let's be positive. We
Well,
want to generate
potentially.
positive energy, positive aura.
Flag to flag time of about 1 second. Pups are
1
about
second.
15 squares away from the flag. What can the teams do? As it's Balakra and Buttercup. All of AM happy to wait in base and defuse everything. Vex going for an early grab. Not going to work out for them. Now Acti and Rosa are going to be rolling out.
Wouldn't mind a 3-0 situation from.
Yeah, I agree. We tried that a few times and it had mixed results, but it definitely wasn't an owned craft.
Well, I think there was something in chat, and I 100% agree with it. Just the way that AntiMatters play is so controlled, so I mean, we're seeing it in chat. Apologise for some of the language there. We're seeing it in-game chat at the moment with Vex calling Acti a little bit soft, a little bit weak perhaps, verbatim. So I mean, 3-0, why not? Cause a bit of chaos.
As is their style, and they don't really deal well with changes to the mean. Like it's only really that they're setting up in a unique way, which gives them the edge in that situation. Great boost by Bobby.
Love that.
As we get into the pup round, it's going to be
so good.
Oh no! Buttercup just swipes that one away from Vex, and Bobby, maybe a miscommunication, thought they had a tag bro back there. Now it's going to be no chance for a cap, but they do have regrab set up. Activation probably would do well to just walk back here. Okay, wayward grab by Buttercup. Really good defense from Dilzer and Nooga on the flag. And Buttercup's just going to send it into base. Bobby maybe had an angle on Balakra there. Doesn't find it in the end. Gets shot down by Activation. And now it's Dilzer on the flag. Not really known for his opportunity creation, but will hold the flag for as long as required. Very consistently.
Dilzer is... would make a great pet. If you tell him exactly what you want him to do, he'll do it exactly. But otherwise, if it's on his own back, good luck. Rosu now grabbing an away very tightly, and it's going to hold. It's about 10 seconds until pups. It's a nice boost, and the blocks are already set. Parting the seas, baby! Parting the seas. Lovely stuff.
You could see how he didn't really trust the blocks, and they just held the whole time. That was incredible from Buttercup and Balakra. Balakra finds himself a rolling bomb on flag now. Uncontested bottom. Will get defused by Nooga, and it stills her ahead. Could find the shutdown here. Bobby on tile just for a moment. And both flag carriers go back to find a hold.
And speaking of chaos, no regrab from Noogas in Paris. Dilzer quickly scuttling back. His cute little ass to get back onto O. Nooga end up going for a kiss. Vex now needs to hold. Contain and doesn't. If he was going to allow Buttercup out, had to allow her up top. She ended up going through top anyway with the parting. Just from
the way the map flows. Fortunately, that top boost was up so Nooga could find the boost from behind. And nothing eventuates from that. But really, it needs to be better. Nooga just bombs through the whole map to find AntiMatters, to find NIP's equalizer. 1 and 1 apiece. Vexation now past 2.
That was so nice, and Vex has the control here. Really should not be doing this at all. When you have the flag there and pups are about to spawn, try and create pressure. Balakra was sitting on OD, unsure whether or not he had to stay OD because they had 1-on-1 blocks in base, or whether he could go and contest the pup. As soon as Vex no longer tries to attack the flag, Balakra knows he's completely safe to go and contest the pup as well, and they lose the tag bro and the potential cap out of it. Still a little bit of a shambles though here for AntiMatters, still recovering as yet. Nooga has been incredible thus far. He's got this bomb yet again. Not quite as nice as the last one, but see what he can do on offense. It's really just turned into a TPM game at this point.
It looks a bit like that, doesn't it? Just getting crazy grabs, trying to get up past 3, and it works sometimes.
Bit of a lack of structure, I'll be honest.
Which is probably what really suits NIP here. They're able to play the game on their terms in that situation. Just on that previous point of where Vex was trying to hold for pups last round, the pressure has to be on the flag. He can't be going down to try and win the power up, because that means that the defenders only have to think about one map element instead of 2, which is the flag and the power up. So it just makes things a whole lot easier for them. And it's a numbers game.
He himself cannot be contesting the pub because he's the flag carrier and he will die at the site.
And they will get caps and the flag.
Yep, and that's essentially what happened. I mean, they didn't lose a cap out of it, but they lost the opportunity to cap. Bobe with a nice little hold here. Rosu uncontested, and the top left. He does have the access to this bomb, and he'll use it now, almost finding that spike. But doing quite well to hold nonetheless. Quite quite back and forth here, quite even for the moment.
Yeah, loving this display so far, both teams. NIP definitely able to play more on their terms, as I highlighted earlier. Keeping these crazy grabs going and, you know, perhaps unorthodox defense, kind of forcing Acti doing so well to hold and allow Buttercup to get that control. As I am going to go for a quick listen in the NIP team, see if they can find a lead for themselves.
Diffused. Top.
Yeah,
That's not bad. I've got.
Going bot.
Going top. We got.
Should have.
Nice. Reset.
Straight on spawn. Make it up.
Hey, man.
I have this top bomb.
Did you say hey, Mombi?
Yeah, he's in the channel.
Oh.
Everyone be quiet.
You just went style.
Alright, they noticed my presence and went really biting in terms of
If
comms,
they
so
did, you had to awkwardly leave.
yep, got out of there. Not much interesting occurring.
I will say it was very boring listening to that. Bunch of nothing happening. No one was talking. Dilza was just saying either bot or top for about 20 seconds, and that was the only voice we heard. Yeah, no energy, not much of useful communication.
No dynamics. I guess that's how they play, you know. They let their fingers do the talking.
Very boring to listen to.
For sure.
Oh, Dilza.
Pinpoint. Will he find this one?
Seen a man
That's
so
right.
possessed.
Looking like he's on his way to Ball of Fame.
Settle down.
What?
Let's not guess who.
We've got it down to only 3 or 4.
Looking for the shutdown here. Vex forced into that. Dilza is gonna do alright. Covers most of the line here, and the OD was very well set up in the end. NIP looking much better. Very even here. If anything, maybe had the better of the plays, I would say.
Oh, Bobby and Rosu locked in a beautiful dance, and it's Acti +2 here. Probably could have been a little more
Where is he
aggressive
going?
there. Yeah,
Acti.
that's a bit of a blunder, I must say. But they do find the Tag Pro lead out of it, so it is a blunder, but not a big one, because they still maintain a bit of map control here. And Rosu will use that RB, find himself on read. Dills are happy to go all the way back and just hold the flag here.
Yeah,
They're like
Dilger's
we're
not
looking
the
for a
guy that you
shutdown.
want on the flag in this situation, though. Bobe and Vex now. Bobe needs to block for Vex. It's a nice juke, and that was well communicated. Rossi with his RB is just about to time out there, and the line
great
is going to
boost.
take him all the way around the top, but unfortunately that's where the OD was positioned.
If he
Vex
came through
dies.
bot there, looked like a cap.
It could have. But, I mean...
Vex
they've got
happy to
Anti.
die there and go back and play anti, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, didn't have to die, but yeah.
No. Fast away. Oh, I don't know about that
Oh,
from
that's
Noogas.
not it.
Why?
That is not it.
God, that's just, lack of game plan, I suppose. Vexation really needed to be the one who pushed off there because the OD position was not strong from NIP, and Nooga pushing off means it's pretty much a happy walk-in for Rosu.
What is this?
Oh, this is how they get you.
Why get a cap when you can get a tag pro that may or may not get you a cap?
Get one
I
of the
mean,
pups.
It just doesn't make any sense here. Noogas made two, frankly, boneheaded decisions. Rushing out of OD onto his side of the map with basically no information. It comes back down, I assume, to some of the communication that we didn't hear when we went for the listen-in. And just like that, a half that was looking so good for Noogas and Paris really looked like they'd established themselves in this final. Yet again, they're on the back foot, and you know, 2 caps down yet again.
Rosu had his offender's hat on there, but didn't work out as Vex went for a not so great boost. That's really what Vex needed to be doing, pushing up, forcing players off the mid boost, allowing Bobby to maybe find an out here. Does manage to evade Blackwell, going to stay ahead of him by a B-stick. Oh, gets shut down by Acti as pups come up. Happy to contest both in this situation.
And here, Noogas should really just be going for a grab, as Butters does on the other side. And there you see the pressure that this creates going for a grab. All of a sudden, Vex and Dills need to abandon the concept of going for pups. Luckily, Bobe and Nooga were able to get the win on the other side, get that tag pro, crucially. They get one tag. Butters still with the RB on flag, though, and she's all of a sudden ahead of all. So, hairy situation for the offensive duo, Noogas and Paris. And they've got these bombs to worry about as well.
Trying to get a little too tricky there, Vex. I feel like they did well to recover that situation. It looked really bad when they were contesting top pup, but they did find the tag pro, which means that Vex could peel off and get a grab, stop Buttercup getting that cap. and go 1 for 1 in the end with no downside. So it is just a 2-cap lead right now. Dilza unable to thread the needle this time. And the final few seconds of this half as an AM is happy to play 3D and take things out with pretty much the same vibe they've had the whole game. Just pure map control. Let them make the mistakes and then we'll pile on a few. And we've seen it occur. 3-1 is the score.
Yeah, and look, for about 7 minutes there, Noogas in Paris were going toe for toe. But in the end, just a couple of moments.
Lapses, they'll kill you.
All it takes is a couple of seconds, and all of a sudden you find yourself 2 caps behind one of the most patient, most controlling teams in the competition, I'm sure.
Going to be a hard task for any team. But if they're able to take things back to that, fast play, there is a chance for NIP. Remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, NIP have capped 3 times in 30 minutes. They need to do it 3 times in the next 10 minutes and not let AntiMatters get one of
Triple.
them. That's the task that's ahead of them. So, playing your way that you're playing at the moment, good luck.
Good luck indeed.
So well played. I mean, we're being a little bit negative Nancy's here. It's well, one of us is. AntiMatters playing so well. Credit to them. Really
Absolutely.
doing their best to capitalize on some of the mistakes that are being made in front of them. Yeah, not too many moments of errors, I would say, from AntiMatters. Certainly a couple, but much more controlled. And you can see the way that they play their OD. Realistically, it's like three stay nice and close to the flag. Belacqua goes out and scouts. You compare that to how Noogas and Paris were playing it, where Vex is playing anti-re, and then instead of Vex forcing or pushing or being the aggressor on the flag to come off if they want to try and pressure something